And welcome back to the Peach and Smee show. Jay's a little confused because he left me in the pre-lobby, but it's okay because I punched the live button anyways. And here we are, right on the show. Peach and Smee. What's Smee? Maybe join us, maybe not. He had to go visit the parents. You know, when you have that first newborn, it's always like grandma wants to see them kids, and rightfully so because grandmas come in clutch. Can I get an amen? Grandpas come in clutch.
Amen.
Jason, you know what today is?
Your birthday.
No, it's not my birthday. It was my anniversary. Was it yesterday? Friday?
Hey, how many years did we
Friday?
get? How many years?
10, brother.
Let's
10.
go.
For
So
10
hey,
years. Yeah.
for all them newcomers,
Mm.
give us some kind of advice that got you to 10 years.
I can tell you the advice to got me to 10 years and the advice that almost got me kicked out after. uh, if you can just muster up the courage to let the women have the last word, or just be like, yeah, you know what, we'll just do it like that, we'll just do it like that, you know. But no, man, I would say after 10 years, I mean, you got to talk, you got to be honest with each other. That's what a lot of people uh and not just talk about like wants, talk about fears too, you know, because if a
Yeah.
person's not sharing good and bad with you, if they only see good, Slappy, how are they going to experience or know some of the bad? So, you know,
No,
now 10 years down
love
the
it.
line, you take it in little pieces and this and that and on.
No,
What year are you on, brother?
oh, year three, 6 years together. So yeah, we're working
Well,
our way up. Slow
yeah,
and
no,
steady.
you've created a beautiful family over there, Jason. I see
Oh, I
your
appreciate it.
pictures. Do you ever feel bad when
It's
you're
mostly
like,
my genes.
yeah? Hey, did you ever feel bad when you're sitting there talking
I thought you were going a
to
different route, like
somebody? Because
masturbating when you're married.
no,
I'm like,
no,
whoa, whoa,
no,
what
no, no. So
conversation we going
I
for?
feel bad when I feel bad when I have a conversation and I'm just sitting there talking to an individual, and because I'll like ad lib a lot, I'll cut up. I'll be like, "Hey, man, I saw you posted the other day," and it just is like it adds a layer of the comment like, "Wow, this dude's really keeping up with me on all levels." But I realize like as soon as I'm talking about this, I'm like, "You didn't like that post." I mean, is that something that's like
I
we wouldn't
think
have understood that? Just imagine if you would have explained to somebody, Jason, if you would explain to somebody in the 90s, you would have been like, look, here's what's, or maybe 90s, 80s. One day there's going to be this huge platform
yeah.
and you're going to have profiles on it. And it's almost where life is to
Well,
some people.
yeah. No, I know. I agree.
How would you explain that to somebody back in the 80s, what the
Yeah,
media
when the
conglomerate
eight
is today?
tracks, boom boxes. Remember they used to sit on the side of the road with the boom box. They used to bring that. Remember the big boom boxes? Boom, boom, boom. And they used
Yeah,
to bring it
yeah.
out. Yeah, with the eight track. So
But what
I,
would you say to somebody? Like, how would you explain that? Because like nobody would have thought that in the 80s that you'd have been like, well, we're gonna basically have a whole life online where we keep up with pages, comments,
yep.
run stuff. Because there's a
The
lot of
one,
people like
yeah,
we just post our kids.
yeah, but some of these guys are thirst traps. Now, do you think it's appropriate to be a thirst trap when you're married? I don't
No,
know.
I
And then
mean,
yeah, so you post it, and you're trying to look through all these guys that or people, let's say people or women, that I mean, we're all do it. TikTok's like that, but it's crazy how many people post. And I think here's something to elaborate to just follow on. What about the parents that supplement their kids into this kind of lifestyle? Do you think it's child abuse? Because I do. I think it's child abuse. Hey
can
son,
we
hurry up.
rewind that? Can we
Say
go
something funny.
to when you say thirst traps? You were talking about the dad that looks like he doesn't have a
Gentlemen.
job. He lives at
No.
the gym.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, not that. But there's some guys that use a lot of filters, and women use a lot of
Come on.
filters instead of just.
Yeah,
And what they're, if you're posting a video, like I only post to put my kids out there. I mean,
yeah.
you could say, "Hey Jay, you're
You're a
you're on
family man.
this."
You could tell right off
Well,
the
yeah,
rip.
but you can say you're on a podcast. But I'm doing this with one of my best friends. and all we do is discuss topics throughout the whole week. I actually enjoy this, but so I don't think we're trying to get
any kind of attention, any kind of attention, because that's what a thirst trap is. It technically draws in the attention, and it just no, man, I
know
don't
we
know.
got way off the top.
Here's what I'll say is, and we'll round back to it. But here's what I'll say is, as a dad, brother, I want to look like I just want one of my kids' friends, like, or a couple of my kids' friends, be like, dude, that dude's he's gonna kill somebody if somebody like, he's a solid dude. Like, I had a buddy in high school, and his dad didn't look like, he looked like a normal guy. Like, he was definitely trimmed up, but I mean, I guarantee you the dude could have, like, if he punched a horse in the gut, it would probably just flop. Like, he was just solid, dude, and he'd get on a bench press and push like 315. And I was like, dude, this guy's a bad dude. I don't even want to mess with my buddy. And he just had a son. I couldn't imagine what it was like if he had a daughter.
Yeah.
You know, I felt sorry for that guy. But he was just like, I want to look healthy. And that's what my social media is for. It's not for baiting, you know, like I said, we got this whole thing here. And, you know, we do this for fun. We do this because we like to talk.
And opinions. That's it.
Yeah. We like to hear the opinions of others. But
is anybody posting yet? You guys suck.
Well, look, needless to say,
we got a mic.
Yeah. So the good thing is social media has changed the world, and it'll never, ever be the same. You can send a message that will get from you to China in a matter of probably not even a minute through the airways. So that's just where we're at. But actually, today is when Christopher Columbus, if Smee was here, this was more of a Smee question, set sails to the Americas. Smee argues that Christopher Columbus never found the Americas. He was actually an idiot. And he hit South America.
You know, you're right, though. He didn't land there. That he found, that's when, the Aztec, I think.
Yeah. He actually landed like South America.
Yeah, South America. So, and then his second route was.
They didn't even want to bless him over here. They were like, hey, he was pretty much a failed this is what Smee's concept is. Christopher Columbus was a failed sailorman
expedition
or whatever. Yeah. And he basically took this trip because on his last beck and dime.
So it's funny you say this, because some of these guys the history tells you that we had 13 colonies, and Jamestown actually showed up where it was. Well, now they're finding Jamestown in a whole different location. So some of these guys that are PhDers, you know, take it for a grain of salt. Good for you, but I mean, what's the truth anymore? They say that Australia is on the map. They say it's a lot smaller than what it actually is, or South Africa is a lot smaller than what it is. But I mean, who's actually doing any surveying?
Than what it is?
Well, I think they said Australia was. But what I'm saying is, all we do is look at a map and we're like, wow, this is the population size, and I'm sure the surveying is up to date now. So, and Google's Earth is, I mean, hell, it's all satellite. So.
Well, I mean, so who did find America? If we're not saying Christopher Columbus, because Smee, like I said,
the freaking Indians, son. What's up?
That kind of leads me, because I was thinking about that, and when you say like we screwed the Indians, there's no doubt about that.
We did.
And
we're paying for it. I mean, we pay them.
With some of their technology, like, something tells me, like, if we had an Indian weatherman, because them suckers were on point, dude.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, they were wrong about 2012, but that's because they died off. I don't think they were just wrong. But as far as like weather and like how they predicted the seasons and where stuff was, they're pretty solid.
Yeah, no, they are. They're on point. So these weather people, let's be honest. let's take, how often are they right?
No.
$90,000 salary, and they suck 50% of the time. So
I know. I feel like I could have done that.
And never get fired. That's the greatest job ever. So hey,
I wonder
with that weather, when that whole incident happened in Texas, and let's say prayers for anybody that was.
Oh, okay. So you're rounding off to the floods.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
so
go ahead. Intro.
Well, okay. We talk about the weather. I think this is a great point and how accuracy there was. They probably looked at ant farms and like, oh, they're building little mounds, so I'm sure there's weather going to be coming in. Or probably they looked at nature and said, okay, this is the way, and it actually worked. But anyways, what altitude time did they give you down there in Texas? The weather
I
people.
mean, I think so. So first of all, let me state this. I don't think it was just ant farms or ant hills that were piling up. I think there was some pretty fishy stuff.
Shit.
When they
I
said cloud seeding, which I'll touch back to that afterwards, they were like, "Yeah, man, cloud seeding." And then this dude with blonde hair or whatever, he's like the guy, a person who introduces this cloud seeding to the world and makes it popular. Like he's all over social media. He's like, "Yeah, man, I can promise you, cloud seeding is it's not ruining nothing. It's actually very safe, and it shows up about maybe 2 to 3 hours after the initial seed process." But then you have like a crazy flood in New Mexico, and I believe it was another state, and it was just like you just don't see that stuff much,
No.
And you don't think, look, there's some smart people out here. Come on. I mean, we just literally flew B-52 bombers in midnight and actually made an illusion where they thought we were going to Guam, was it?
Yeah,
And
Guam.
then just dropped a bomb that went so many feet in the ground and just took it out. And then they went home.
No, not just one bomb, bud. Not just
Yeah,
one.
I don't know how many it was initially.
I think 14 bombs. Yeah. 30 pounders.
But then they went home. So like, look, we know technology has much further exceeded anything we could imagine if we knew the big enchilada to technology. So don't tell me you can't go up there and seed and create a whole. I wouldn't be surprised if they can create a whole hurricane off some of that stuff.
It's funny. So the tsunami. Let's talk about the tsunamis. After remember the whole tsunamis. We were getting tsunamis, and then they put buoys out for the tsunamis. I mean, we haven't had any except for just recently with Russia, that earthquake that happened. So, anyways, back to Texas.
Well, so my deal is with cloud seeding. We'll just go ahead and intro that. The whole purpose of it is they see a cloud with moisture. A cloud is moisture, and they say, we can get something off of that. And so they go and there's a couple different chemicals. I think it's like sodium, it's like salt.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
But anyways, there's a couple different chemicals that they go and take a plane and just like probably 478 bottle rockets on the back of the wing, they just go to shooting salt and nitrogen or what. I don't even know what it is. It's a compound of some type, and it attaches onto the moisture in that cloud and brings it down to the earth.
So what year do you think cloud seeding actually happened? Remember the technology. We talked about technology. All right. What year, if you had a suggestion on it?
2017?
Oh, yeah, 2017. Nope, 1946, right after World War II.
Oh, man.
By an American chemist and meteorologist. How do you guess? Meteorologist Vincent J. Schaefer, according to Google. So can you believe that? 1946. So they've really probably, condensed this down to the perfect storm, I would think. If it in 1946,
Well,
that was the
first, when here's the deal, like with first of all, the 40s is it's dude from 45 to like, well, I don't know when was the nuke created. I know I'm not going down that trail, but like, dude, for 20 years, scientists was like putting in work, and it kind of makes you think. Well, I guess with the B-52 bomber, I'm still blown away by that. We haven't talked about that on this show, but the fact that two guys can just go 36 hours, destroy a whole country's nuclear thing. But anyways,
never been detected. Literally, they blew it up and then out to sea. Anyway,
I don't know. Look, for the sake of all that, I don't know. I'm not going to say that cloud seeding is what caused the Texas floods. It does bring up an interesting thing, especially when you see it in more areas. Now, let's get to the truth, though. So when it does start raining, Central Texas, West Texas, it's not mud over there. It's not really a whole bunch of mud. It's really just like rock and some dirt. Okay,
So
there's not a whole lot of topsoil, so it hits that rock, goes right into the lowest spot, and starts running. I think that they got notified or whatever, whether phones had service, didn't have service. Somebody said there were sirens. Somebody said they sounded sirens. Maybe I don't know how far dispersed sirens are down the river. But I think that was the biggest question to me was like, how could you not get people out at least to high ground? Okay. And what is high ground from low ground? Are we talking like 100 yards?
Yeah. No.
I mean,
higher elevation.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though. It can't
No.
just be like now. Some spots are just a low spot, and it's just sitting, and it's going to fill up like a lake. It's going to look like a lake when it's done. But some of those, like on the river, I mean, like I said, what's high ground? Is it like 60? It's hard to fathom that. But in the same sense, I think of the fact of being the individual in my bedroom or asleep at night, and then all of a sudden you're just turning over in bed and you feel something cold, and all of a sudden you're like, this is river water. And then you look outside and everything's coming at you. So, just like the events line up and now you're there. It was unfortunate that all that happened because, it was
a loss of life, I would say.
Well, yeah. I'm saying from just the small principle of like the surprise element, like that to me, that's what gets me is like when you hear somebody like, oh, well, they died in their sleep. It's at 90. I'm like, dang, you lived a full life. And I mean, you just dream it. But when you get like surprise and it's tragedy, that's where it really hits home, I guess.
Well, so all right. We got your understanding of what happened down there. But as an Ohioan, I'm going to play the devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Do you guys not listen to sirens or warnings or watches? Because like if we hear a tornado watch or warning, look, we're heading to the basement. We're probably sleeping in the basement. We're going to see in the weather up here. We kind of pay attention to it. Now, that's just a guy in Ohio that doesn't really have flash flooding. And if we do have flash flooding and we do have a creek nearby that but here's another thing. That creek rose, just to help the understanding of how fast it rose was what? It rose 5 feet in 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was less than an hour, like a crazy amount.
It was an abundance of
and
rain.
I think you probably have like more drastic, like your elevation's real high up there. Like you have more drastic elevation changes. Like you may be 10 foot higher on a hill that takes you. Well, I mean,
hold on,
it may be 200 yards to get up the hill.
Yeah, but we actually got hills too, and we actually have basements. Here's what kills me. When I was down there, I remember you guys like, hey, do you guys back road? And I had no idea what back road was because down here, there's no back roads. It's just you have windy downhill roads.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can't drink and drive, but apparently in Texas, that's the thing to do. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to think of what like I don't know if we actually use that terminology to actually call it back roading. That may be an Ohio thing, but I'll stay tuned. I can't remember what we said, like mudding. I'm trying to sound less. Somebody called me.
Yeah, but we say ball hogging or mudding, but we don't. That's like an ATV. We're going into trail rides, but not driving on dirt roads. Like we would have deer or just. I never did it. We had cookies and cream. So, anyways, go ahead.
I want
to hear you slash some Ohioans here.
No. I just, like I said, I think it's just one of those things that like you got to see it to believe it. So like I was one of those people that had experienced like Harvey, and I'm talking about a flood area of Harvey.
Yeah.
And I remember we went to go help my wife's grandmother get out of her house, and like, bro, water was like probably 2 foot in the house. And I'm talking about there's a current. Like you could definitely see the water's running to the low spot. Because like imagine just your neighborhood and then just picture water like probably 2 to 3 foot in depth all over your neighborhood.
I also think the dryness of Texas is what causes a lot of that because the ground's not adapted to that kind of like saturation. So it gets
cloud seeding.
Yeah. Well, no, you're
Hence
right.
cloud
So,
seeding.
I just want to add in before you bring your next point up, but I want to tell you the negative fits. We said you talked about cloud seeding, and from what it was said was a county over, right? One county over, or two counties over.
Yeah, correct.
They did a cloud seeding process. So, in
Yeah,
theory, and this is just a theory or a hypothesis, is and I'm going to read you a negative effects of cloud seeding, and we'll continue about what we're talking
anytime,
about. All right.
anytime.
Cloud seeding, while intended to increase precipitation, can have several negative effects, including potential health hazards, environmental damage, and possibility of unintended consequences like flooding. Wow.
Yeah.
Or drought in downwind areas. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. Now,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was just it's kind of like I don't even know an analogy right now for it. But look, if you did something and something happened right after, it's like if you lit the candle and then all of a sudden the house caught from electrical fire, but you lit the candle, you're like, I mean, for a while there, you're like, dang, could the
yeah, did
candle
I
that
do
I
that?
lit
Yeah,
be that
did I
called
do
the
that?
fire? I mean, and it's all electrical. I don't know. But I would still feel like, yeah, man, it's kind of looking like 1 plus
Uh,
blank equals 2.
yeah,
What's the
yeah,
blank?
yeah. The correlation's there. The
Yeah,
correlation is there. Yeah.
for sure. Well, Jason, let me ask you this. So,
No.
as a man of your stature, no, you're going to take this because you've brought it up many times. When you hear the acronym PPC, what is that? What do you think about?
Well, so there used to be a company down here that was PPC. What is it? It was a company, but they sold out. That's what I think of PPC. But I think that's a drug, right?
No. Well, someone might argue it's a drug because it's a drug of acceptance, so to speak. And
Oh
what
yeah.
PPC stands for is Pink Pony Club.
Oh, dude. Oh, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. Yes, you're right.
No. Here's why I say that's bad because you brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, man, I do hear my daughter prancing around singing that song.
Yeah, right. So,
And as fathers, you got to have crossroads that you come to, and you're saying right is right, wrong is wrong. What are you going to stand for in this
yeah, but
moment?
so here's my argument. Do you
Yeah,
play
give me
like
your input. Give me your
well,
input.
so I've had time to think about this because when I hear Kid Bop put it on there, I'm like, I just think the lyrics of this song is trying to manipulate the younger generations of our kids, thinking that it's a great beat, but if you're going to try to transition or transform younger generations to think that this is okay in their lifestyle, I just think. But then here's where my moral compass has like a punchback, right?
Yeah,
Do
tell
you,
us
do
your
you
moral.
play ACDC? Do you play Ozzy? Do you play some other things like cussing MGK in front of the kids? And I'm like, I do.
That's
I
a
would
good
do
point.
that.
It's a
So
good
it's kind
point.
of, you see what I mean? So what's your
Look,
thought process on it?
it's a good. I'm gonna just stick on that point because that was a good point, and I'm gonna tell you why. Is because one time I was arguing with a person. Uh, it was very, very politically like they were diehard Trump, diehard
Mm.
Trump. I'm a huge Texas Longhorns fan, as you may can tell. Okay.
I can't see nothing.
They're sitting here telling me that my
OH,
college is this and that, and
Idaho,
I wouldn't go for this
Ohio.
college. Yeah, we'll see you August 30th.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, but I'm sitting there like, bro, they're telling me like Texas is such a progressive college. How could you stand? Like, I wouldn't support
Austin
that.
is.
I
Austin
wouldn't
is.
support that team. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal. As I'm sitting here looking at this, this was like in, it was 2020. It was a weird time for a lot of people.
That's when COVID was happening.
So I asked this person as he was wearing an Under Armour shirt. I was like, well, are you going to continue to wear that shirt? And he said, yeah. What's wrong with the shirt? I said, well, do you know that The Rock, like the Under Armour's spokesman, literally just endorsed your Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Did you pay attention to that? I'm like, so you're telling me, like, if you're going to do one thing, you can't
Yeah.
forget the other. So if you're going to sit there and say Texas is progressive, but you're sitting here watching all these actors that are like extremely looking at some of these actors because I
So,
do. They're like almost borderline demonic in some states.
are
Go
you
ahead.
talking about Sydney Sweeney? What happened to her on Abercrombie and Finch, which is crazy to me that they fired her over what her representation of who she votes for and how she votes. That's how that happened.
Well,
Sydney am I saying right? Sydney Sweeney.
I don't know. Yeah, you're onto something.
Yeah,
It sounds right to me.
I want you to say yeah. That's
I
the
don't
name.
know. It sounds right to me.
I think it's Sydney Sweeney, right? So
Yeah.
she played on Euphoria, right? The one where these teens were having sex. And let me tell you, just to elaborate, have you guys ever seen Hunting Wives? Holy shit, dude! Don't watch it.
No.
Have you watched it on Netflix?
Can I be real honest with you right now? What I'm thinking is about 7 women with mossy oak and carrying a rifle to the stand. Is that what we're talking about?
Pretty freaking close.
Okay.
Like, how is that even allowed? Then they have sex with their teenage daughter's boyfriend. And
Really?
if that isn't grooming, how are we even allowing that on Netflix? Anyways, back to the Sydney Sweeney thing. So she's a Republican, or she's a registered Republican, and that's why Abercrombie and Finch fired her pretty much. Am I right?
I mean, dude, this is news to me. This is news to me.
I'll Google it right now.
But there's a whole. That's
Google.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is there's a whole bunch of that I think it's fair. But let's just say before you go out and voice, you shouldn't do that. This is wrong, and this is
look.
And I'm going back to the PPC. Okay. So if you're gonna sit there and play the music of them doing everything under the sun but going to a PPC.
Wow. Do you know what? Do you know what pops up when I say Sydney Sweeney? Why she? And it says talk about breast implants.
Well, maybe it wasn't Sydney Sweeney. Maybe it was Sydney Smith. I don't know. As long as you got Sydney, I guess that's what counts. But no, so look, here's my deal. Is this is a weird twist, okay? This is for the Bible people, okay? Because I've heard this through a little bit. They said, okay, like what was so what do you think is the most influential tool in the world?
Currently, right now, TikTok.
I don't mean to. Well, yeah, you could say that, but I would say so. Like over time, it's probably music, right?
Yeah.
Because you have women falling out for Elvis. You have people distraught when Michael Jackson dies, even if he was what they said he may have been. People are still sad. So, and then music starts trends. It does this, it does that. So I've heard this, and I just want your opinion on this. So music could be argued as the most influential tool to get to the youth because a kid will listen to a rapper, really like that rapper, wear what he wears, get a poster of him, have his music as whatever. Listen, anyways, he just takes on a trait. So, anyways, what I'm getting at is some people will say. And I want to just hear what you think. Lucifer, technically, biblically, before he became Satan, was over the music in heaven. That's what's in the Bible, right? So now you have where people listen to music and like you're over here listening to PPC and you're like, yeah, man, such a good beat. And you could be indoctrinating your kid for crying out loud.
Yep. No, you're right. I agree with you.
And so I guess to say a small piece would be like, man, if you're talking about the devil, say if all this is true and you got somebody that was over the music, I'm talking about over what's inspired through music.
Yeah.
Because I will say this, and I'll just hint this. I'm not going to go down a deep trail on this because you'll probably get lost quick. And I don't even know why I got into this fad, but
I know. All I heard was Lucifer. I'm like, oh man.
Well, no, I'm just saying he's the they said that he was over music in heaven, and so now he's fallen, and he's going to use what he does best to tempt people. He's a tempter, he's an adversary, whatever. But I started listening like kind of wondering where drill rap come from, and it's a new era of rap music, and it's almost basically just self snitching on what the crimes you actually commit, and these crimes aren't just like, hey, I robbed a purse from a lady. It's like now I've killed like 5 people, and I'm like, why? Where are we at today as a society
Yeah.
where we're just so comfortable with the influence of music? Because but here's the deal though, is now when this drill music got hot in Chicago, then it jumped to a place like New York, it jumped to a place like Jacksonville, Florida, it jumped to a place like wherever.
Was it in Cincinnati? Because Cincinnati just got whoo. Did you ever see that? I thought it was. I mean, they were getting beat up down there, and
Flogged. No,
flogged. Yeah, flogged.
but it does bring it brings a weird thought. You're like, man, if music is a powerful tool, but it's also a dangerous tool, because you get somebody. I mean, I think people would have jumped off a bridge for Elvis. I
Yeah.
think people would have jumped off a bridge for Michael Jackson. There's some Swifties out there right now that'll do
Yeah.
some retarded stuff.
Yeah. Well, think about it.
They name it Cliff.
Justin Bieber used to spit on his clients. And the people would be like, "Yeah, throw me your pee," and I'm like, "What in the world is going
Yeah,
on with kids?" If that was my teenage daughter or teenage son, I'd be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What is
well.
his pee gonna get you?"
And so to wrap up the PPC, I think that if you're if you believe in the word like myself, I'm like I see where 1 and 2 and 3 went together. That would make a world of sense. And I think just like Disney shows that you don't know, just like YouTube
Yeah. No. Yeah.
videos that you don't know,
Hmm.
music, you need to understand who sings this song, understand what they're saying, and understand. You could tell real quick what somebody's goal is. And like Justin Bieber, I look at him and I'm like,
I
bro, I think he's so doped up right now. He's tired of fame. I mean, he may be
yeah.
dead in 10 years. I hope that. That's not what I hope,
Yeah.
but you can just see. You can see people, or at least have a good judge of character, just kind of watching how they live. But that's all I'll say about that.
Right.
Now, I do want to ask you one question as an adult, because I've been getting feelings hurt on COD lately.
Hold on.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on. I'm gonna finish out the topic only because of this. Look,
Yeah.
I've been
No,
listening to the YMCA and YMCA. So
but you know the dance.
I
But you
know the
know the
dance,
dance. Okay.
but from where it's played, just enjoy the music. All right, embrace the good lyrics, embrace the songwriting writers, but be cognizant of the messaging that they're proudly broadcasting out to younger generations. That's all. Just know that. That's all I'm going to say about it. Go ahead.
And that's a
Well,
message from Responsible Dad and Jason Hayslip. Thank you for your
yeah,
message, sir.
be here
Yeah,
all
no.
day.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
A question for you, because I've been getting dang, I will say that. I don't like to admit when I'm good at a lot of stuff, but COD trash talking, I
Hmm.
think I can play. I could be up there with some of them. But
You know,
somebody called me a hick the other day, and somebody's like, I'm like, all right, brother. So I've been like trying to really round off my words to not sound so hick. Like, cause
oh, you're definitely from the South. They
well,
know.
some of the words that I realize, especially my wife say, is like you have where you would say, turn off that light. We will say, turn off that light.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys say, pop, or do you say soda, or Coke?
No, we say Coke.
See, we
We
say
say
pop
Coke.
up here.
I
Now,
say give me a soda.
do you say toboggan, or like we say beanie, or no? Yeah, we say toboggan. So a toboggan for us is a winter cap.
Well, you got to realize, brother, people in Texas, I mean, not a lot of us are. If you're like me, and I hate being hot, you're not a toboggan wearer. Okay,
Yeah,
let's just get that straight.
yeah.
But a lot of times I catch myself online and I'm like, I may come out of my chair at this kid, but I stay
Mm,
cool, calm, and collective, and then we get the win, and then we're out of there. If we lose, I'm a sore loser.
yeah.
It just is what it is. Um, but as we grow, we get a little bit older, and so I want to ask you, what was the exact moment as you as a man had a face, or at least potentially you're like this. I think I'm going through something as a man. you're washed. When's that moment that you face like, oh, man, who am I kidding? I can't go out there and throw football with those kids anymore. I'm gonna pull a muscle. I'm gonna be extremely sweaty 5 minutes into playing it, and yeah, it's just not a good idea for me. When in all actuality, in your early 20s, you'd been out there slinging the pigskin, being like, "Hey, if we can get two more, we'll play seven on seven." Okay. Do you have a moment?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna repeat the question after I finish mine. So it's a good question. So I think at 35, I realized like, look, I I am not the same man as I was at 28 or 30. You know, uh, you start really feeling some of those aches and pains like that your dad tells you, like, hey, your back is probably going to start feeling around this time. So I think arthritis starts setting in, and I can
FYI,
feel it.
nowadays that's just when you get your testosterone checked, baby.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. So,
Bounce
and
back season.
I just told my wife that I said I should probably get checked to see if. But then
I
again,
don't know
do
what
you?
the average age is.
Yeah, but do you want to take some of that over the counter stuff that could really cause harm to you in the long run? Especially too much of testosterone, really changes the way your process of thinking and conducting reality is. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
I
But
don't know. I think I
you could also
35.
take way too much. They had a German guy. It was like he got on testosterone, dude. Well, he's been on testosterone. What's crazy is if I had Instagram up, I could probably pull it up, but I'll have trouble signing in. But a dude posted like he had some health troubles. Then he posted about what you need to be aware of if you get on steroids or a certain type of steroids, and like your body can't come back from that, and not just like you're not going to be as muscular. I'm talking about your blood being too thin, just stuff like that.
Yeah,
Your body learns to function on something so long
yeah.
that when you try to come off, it's like no, 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 no.
So hey, before I end this and shoot it back to you for like, what age do you think it is? Because I still think you're still in your prime, Derek. I really do.
Call of Duty
So
was.
yeah, dude, I'm 40, and it's funny you say that, but like I enjoy still getting on there, and
That's
I
going to
know
lead
I'm
to our
playing
next
with.
question, though, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm 42 and I'm still slinging it with some of the guys. I'm not the best, but I enjoy playing with you guys and talking. I think it's more camaraderie for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here we go. All right. Ozempic, bud. That is a huge thing. What happened to the old school? Like, let's go work out, let's go walk, let's go run, let's eat properly, uh, instead of taking these these stuff that you shoot up like it's just easy. I just, man, we the
It's hard to say.
everybody wants results fast instead of like long term. And I remember the back in the day, those people would do like the Gene Simmonses or Billy Blanks, and they would work hard to try to get their fitness in. And now it's like I don't have enough time. And what happened to the time? Like we don't even make time anymore. You know?
Well, it's the same reason why I say nobody should ever put a treadmill in their house. It's not like there's little to no effort, and when you have little to no effort, so when somebody say when they pop on a shot, it's going to be always a band-aid. That's all it is. There's going to be
That's it.
very few people that says like, hey, I'm going to take a trip of this and then I'm going to get off. I can assure you.
No. It's an addiction, I think. They say, "Oh wow, you look good," and it's like, "Oh, I look
Yeah, but when
good."
you get off of that sucker and you've just ordered yourself 2 large cheese pizzas, it's like, bro,
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
that's
I think
that's
I
not it.
you
It's
gotta
discipline.
you gotta respect the people that are actually doing it naturally, riding their bike, running, going to the gym, being more disciplined than everybody.
Well, and
I had a guy I work with. He did 100-mile run,
yeah,
hundred
no,
mile run,
me and Smee are talking about
100. Who
yeah, how
in the
long? What was
right
the time
mind?
frame?
He said he changed his shoes 3 times. He said on 48 miles, he was like, "I'm pretty much done." Then how the hell did you finish the 52 that was left? I mean, literally, you're I don't even know how you run 100 miles nonstop. But kudos to you, whoever did. I'm very proud of you, and I told you that. So I know you're probably never going to listen to this podcast, but I'm proud of you. Go ahead. I wouldn't
You
do
can
it.
share it with him. I'll cut that in a clip and you can share it with him.
Well, no, I just think it's, dude. When I heard that, I walked up to him and said, Did you even walk for like 2 days? Like what was your recovery time?
Well, I'll just be honest with you. Um, I don't. I see a lot of different. I don't really like. I always think I'm a competitor, and when you're a competitor, you'll always think that you're somewhat in your prime. My wife, somebody's blowing their. I guess their hair drying in there. I'm like, dude, something's going on. And so, like, I always think I'm in my prime, but it's just little moments that I was I'm like, huh, got it. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, you should not be proud of
Yeah.
what you just did. I'll
Yeah.
tell you one the other day that looped back to me real quick. So I got a lot of trash. I got dogs. They just tear up trash all day in the yard. And I said, I randomly found this trash grabber, right? It wouldn't stay anywhere on the lawnmower perfectly. And I'm like, just watched a guy do this the other day. He had a method. And the most perfect spot I found was like on your belt line, and then just let your gut kind of overlap it,
Oh my
and
God! What?
keep it into position because you're mowing, so you're like kind of hunched over. And I'm like, dude, this isn't even uncomfortable. I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have a gut. It's not even
No,
uncomfortable.
shoot.
And it was the perfect spot, and I could just pull it out. Whoop, whoop. And I'm just like, you
Let
shouldn't
me hear
even
that
be
one more
proud of
time.
that.
Let me hear that one more
Whoop,
time.
whoop. Yeah, that's the the chair, because you got to get that little lean back in there. That's the
Yeah,
chair.
yeah.
Well, we'll do one more question for the day, and then we'll go on to our. We're just going to call this a teaser of a game because it's on the loop. It's on the loop of coming out, but we've still got some months into it, and then we also don't have our brother in COD, Mr.
Yeah,
Smee, with us, so we'll just
yeah,
kind
the
of
destroyer.
vaguely. But this was more for a Smeagol say, but I guess it's good for everybody. So the question I had was, what fatherhood has taught you about your father? What has fatherhood taught you about your father? I'll get one thing off the top of my head is we were driving. I just got a job with my cousin out of high school, and we were driving to Dayton every day. It was like 45 minutes from Koontz. With traffic, it was an hour. And dude, the first week I was just like, I'm like passing out in the front seat because good old cousin's taking me under his wing. I'm passing out, and he just says like stuff, and that's when like this question kind of put on my mind, at least the father. He's like, well, now you know what your dad did for you when you're growing up, going to work. And I'm like, sure enough. I mean, you think about my dad drove an hour every day for, shoot, man, 15 years, maybe more. And it's just like, dang,
And that's traffic
So,
through Houston, right?
no, well, it was on the outskirts of Houston. So that's my question to you. If there is anything that you have realized, what fatherhood has taught you about your own father? You don't have to. I'm not saying that has to be a negative. Also, if you need to vent, it doesn't have to be positive too, dude. You can throw nails, man.
No. Look, me and so my father and my mother got divorced at a very young age, but what I can tell you is my father was always in my life. So he helped me pay for my school books. Like he might not have had the opportune time to address some certain situations, but
Yeah.
he was always there financially and also there for a phone call and discuss. And he always listened to him. So with
So do
that,
you think that's kind of how you are? Like you are
discipline.
big.
Yeah,
You are.
that my father was very look, this is what I'm going to do, and this is who I'm going to become. So he had a vision of where it was going to go, and this is how I'm going to support my family, even though I'm not intentionally there. And he was
And that's a
okay with it.
military dad. That's a
That's it.
military
That's
dad.
it.
Okay.
So he did a very long career with the military, and then he did the private sector. So I'm very proud of him. I think he's a great role model for Easton and Everly because it
Yeah.
shows him like he is a very, this is how it is, very direct,
Yeah.
a very clean guy. Like everything has a purpose. So I would say patience is good. Also a goal oriented, a
Yeah.
direction, knowing the world isn't going to give you freebies. You know, that's what Dad was like. I'm not going to live off the government. I'm going to do something for the United States, and not just be a problem for the United States. So I appreciate that from him. You know, and he was a patriot. So, anyways, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, that's
That's
a
what I
good
got.
point. That's a good point, man. I just when I see my dad, uh, if I feel bad about complaining, bro. I'm just like my dad. Just he's got like a never ending motor, and if he doesn't like he always contributes. If he doesn't know how to do it, he'll still be in the process. He'll
Yeah.
be the one that, and even if he didn't make the phone call, say like we're trying to get ready for a house to be sold.
Yep.
He may not be even the one to make the phone call to get somebody over there to fix this or that.
Yeah.
He may be the one over there to open the door when they are there. And it's
Yeah.
just like, you just never, you're like, man, I hope he don't, he knows that we really appreciate him. And
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know,
I think
dads are
yeah.
just,
Yeah. Well, so also just to help relay about my father is he with that him and mom getting separated. I have also went through that. So him and I's bond have definitely came a lot closer because we've went through certain situations in our life that are very similar. So it's been a great backbone for me to kind of figure things out. You get what I'm saying? And a great discussion for him. So
well, I will say that about you, Mr. J. Slappy. You're very good at the to do moments. There's some people I'll be like, man, we'll get I might get a present for them this Christmas. They just moved in or something. Jason's one of those people like he's like, hey man, it's this or that. It's present. Christmas. I got to send you a present down there or somewhere, or like feel obligated to link up or take a trip every 2 years. And I think that's why, like 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 even if you may have problems, you'll know like the big goals, like the to dos. And so, bless you for that, brother.
no, I appreciate
Bless you
it.
for that. Well,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
COD Black Ops 7 is on the move, and it sounds like streamers feel that it's just as bad as Black Ops 6.
Oh no.
But there may be light
Is
because
this COD Logic? Are we on
it's
COD
the
Logic now?
same. Yes, we're on COD Logic. It's the same reason.
We're leaving COD. We're going to Fortnite.
Yeah, I know. Battlefield will be purchased. I hate to tell COD.
I think Battlefield. Look, this is my problem with
Go
every
ahead.
video game. All right, there's hacks, dude. What do you sit at a bar? And this is what kills me. Right, I am 42. I give a crap about telling somebody my KD is a 15. I kill 15 people to my one loss. But when I enter these games and
Yeah.
that's happening, it's very unenjoyable for anybody that's a part of it. Like I'm just there to drink my beer or have a discussion with my friend Derek and
Yeah.
Smee and have a strategy that is competing to your strategy. But when you're doing a no look shot at me, like I'm like, what the hell are we in?
Well, and just to lay a little bit of the foundation, okay, the way people are talking about this was a big part of the way people were talking about when Modern Warfare 2
Oh
went to
my.
Modern Warfare 3. And everybody was like, oh my God, this, like nobody, what I mean by that is run on game. So Fortnite is technically a run on game, but nobody's mad at them because that's just Fortnite. That's how the game was always made to be. There
Yeah,
is
but
no new
Fortnite does
game.
a great job trying to keep those. They actually have discipline. Like if you do this, you're getting kicked. You know.
Yeah. Speaking of posts, like I had a post the other day, even from the T top page, and I was like, Jason's gonna love this. No like on that post. So this rounds
Oh,
back to the
I'm
first stuff.
sorry. Go. Let me look it up. Damn, I'm sorry.
No. It's hang on, I'll get it for you. It's I thought you was gonna get it, especially you were gonna get a kick out of this. But let me find this, and I'll just share this screen. But anyways, so here's where the light at the tunnel is. Okay, Sledgehammer is actually over the maps for the new Black Ops 7. Which
So what?
Sledgehammer,
It was Ricochet, right?
our last favorite Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 3. Hence, Sledgehammer was over that. So, so from what
Ricochet,
I
you're
from
talking about the gameplay or the hackers? Ricochet
well,
was
no,
a
no, no,
anti-Ricochet or something,
no, no, no,
right?
no. That's I'm about to show you this. Um,
I'm about to
no,
show
I'm
you my
talking
age.
about. So
Okay,
from what I heard, Activision and
I ain't ready for
Treyarch,
cheaters.
like Activision is kind of giving Treyarch, and that's the developer for Black Ops 6, kind of like the boot, because I mean they've had a long going relationship, but it stinks so bad.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
really.
Well, has less people. I'm assuming less people are playing Black Ops at all, right? Am I right? Like they're losing players.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. If you want to read that caption out to the top right hand side, I'd appreciate that.
I mean, I can't even see it. What are you talking about? You want me to
I'll
read
do
it?
it.
It says, Ricochet sucks penis holes
No,
and
no, no.
go
It
Battlefield
says
for
the
life.
biggest.
That's what it says.
It says the biggest hoax of 2025. Call of Duty's anti-cheat software. It exists just like Bigfoot and honest politicians.
I did see that. I mean, that's a fair analogy. I think
I mean,
if you guys are gamers or not even gamers, get on and try to play it. That is for real. That's
I
real life
want
talk
I
right
want
there.
Donald Trump to go into the business. Forget the Washington Redskins. We can all that. That's a
I
whole nother
know.
conversation.
Yeah.
Forget the Washington Redskins. You go into that business of Ricochet anti-cheat software, and you fire everybody.
Yeah, you fire
I
everybody.
want Cash Patel over Ricochet.
I want it
Pay him
doged.
an incentive. Pay him
Yeah.
an incentive. I don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know how quality Cash Patel. Everybody's upset about the Epstein list. I know that's your boy.
No, I know it's look. I think they're doing what people want to know about. I do think that. I think they're trying to get more money in our pockets. I think they're trying to get American businesses back up and running. And if you're an American, why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want that?
Well,
But
no, no, no.
people
I'm
are like, oh
saying.
no, you know,
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't who Jeffrey Epstein
no
was because he was webbed in with like
other big names were
yeah, leaders of nations,
yeah, no,
people like
absolutely.
that. So how you gonna
But you
it's
will
like
never
why they
know.
didn't
You'll never
release the JFK. They didn't release JFK
you
till from 62 years later.
you
That's when they
you
released it.
look. And
When
here's
people
here's
were
what
dead.
look at what's going on in the FBI, dude. There was some treasonous things there, but I mean, how do you not have cameras and people can hack the cameras and bleach wash? I mean,
Well,
they can.
maybe in 30 years we'll look back and be like,
I think that's why
well,
they're no, but I honestly think that's the reason why they're so scared of making AI so like around because it can scan and decode and with while we're sleeping, it's processing. So
well, look, we're gonna
uncovering
hold.
all this stuff.
Remember this conversation for next podcast because we're gonna hold it this one for next podcast. But Texas is in the works of building the largest. I don't know if it's in the world for sure in America. AI development
Yeah, but
facility.
we would want that to be in the United States. If
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
future, and then also you need to vet the people that are coming to work on the programs. This is
Oh, you
let
think
me
there? You think there's
no, but
espionage going on there?
yeah, absolutely, dude. How many people are like, yeah, I'm an American, let me get in here, and then they're selling, they're getting some paydays off to the other ones. Let me tell you what happened in the early 2000s. All right, remember the SanDisk SD cards? Like this is before you could do the on the cloud or
The most
have
reliable SD
secured.
card out
Yeah.
there.
So it was made by China. All right, this little SD card, and you would plug it in your USB port, and you could download and save files. Right, it gives you kind of like an external memory.
Hard drive, yeah.
So all these FBI's and CIA agents are like, yeah, let's do this. All right. Well, every time they would put it in their computer, and all they were looking at top secret files, it was shooting it down to China because it was made in China. So this is what I'm telling you about, like internally, how do you not? Wouldn't you want Americans to work on the SanDisk like USB external hard drive that you can plug into USB, especially on secure sites? Like, wouldn't you
Be a little
want
bit
people?
more. It's going to be a little bit more of a little bit more pricey, but
Yeah, but I would
no
rather have
espionage.
it. Yeah, but I would rather have it secured. How many documents that have been sent over to foreign adversaries that are probably not our friends, but like the bomber, the B
B52.
Yeah, B-52. That's a classified top secret. What about the Abrams? What about the vulnerable points on Abrams?
Well, I mean,
What
look,
about
we to be fair, we do know somebody studying our stuff after the fact that
they re-engineer it though? They
no,
re-engineer
well,
the
I'm just
stuff.
saying, do you not remember how much equipment we left when we decided to flee Afghanistan? We're like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
Apache helicopter. Y'all take
Yeah, go ahead, fly
that.
that. Let's see you fly that.
No, but anyways, I don't know, but that's a conversation for next podcast.
Yeah.
I want to say that I want to snippet that, and then we'll go and dive into that baby because that's an interesting one. But like I said, COD topic, Sledgehammer is your developer for Black Ops 7. Sledgehammer has had actually a good rapport. Now they're 2 months behind on the game. Like the beta is coming out like 2 weeks before the game's coming out, which usually the beta is like 2 months before the game's out. And so they let a bunch of people into play. They see the bugs and the glitches, and they take them out, or at least take majority of them out until they find out the other ones. Well, your beta is only going to come about 2 weeks before actual release date, so that means they are behind on the game. But credit to you, sir. Let me give you some perks about that. They have a shield coming back to Black Ops 7.
Big
Where
fan.
you can sit in the corner. You can put a blast trap over here, a blast trap over here. And then when they walk around that sucker, they either get blown up or, they can't shoot you for a little bit at least.
Well, this is what they need to do is have the shield have a percentage of damage that goes into it and then disappears. But go ahead.
So kind of like the shield. You're kind of talking about like the shield on like a war zone, say, or a resurgence, kind of where after it takes so much bullets and then it's done.
Yeah,
it just crashes down.
Yeah, and it just different impact. Like if it's an SMG, or a bigger,
it's just hard because that's your secondary. So I don't think it'll ever disappear.
Yeah, but I think
it'd be hard.
Remember, I used to carry a knife and stems and just run around and kill people. So I don't think that should ever
you
be
did?
a possibility. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. before they would slow your movement on some of that stuff. They're just adapting. But go ahead. I like what you're talking about. The shields are a big fan of mine.
So also this may combat the shields a little bit, but we have what we call a wall jump. What they're phrasing to is a wall jump. Now the people in the previews, because the preview got leaked, and it looks like they had exosuits on. Now exosuits were a suit where you could hit A once and you kind of went up like 5 foot. You could hit A twice and you went up about 12 to 15. I don't know. I'm not anyways, it was just like you kind of flew a little bit. And then you came back down and landed like, a feather on the ground. But this one is going to have what they call a wall jump. It's going to be 1, 2. You can climb on the wall, like go up on the wall, 1, 2, off, which is it goes back to that Omni movement, which is that to me, that's what's changed up COD. Because if you don't have gun skills in the new Call of Duty, you're probably not good at the Call of Duty because you're used to shooting a person that's running away like this, but if they slide like this or slide like that, it gets different. It gets different. It just makes the reaction time. You have to be a lot more quicker with your reaction time. That's why you see kill cams, and it looks like people are just like spraying and praying because that Omni movement's changed it up. But now you'll have a wall jump to deal with. So kudos to Black Ops 7. Thank you for making stuff even more chaotic. A question of the COD topic series. Has skill-based matchmaking ruined casual fun? Back in the day, you used to could go in a lobby and you may play the best in the world, or you may just play average Joe that's in your area and you just run your area and you see your region and you see your rank. Now, if you get good enough, Texas, Ohio, we'll send you over there to California, play some of them kids. They got
I think it's best. I think they need to rate it on KD. That's it. So your KD percentage is a 5.0. You're playing other players that are 5.0. So it's KD. That's what they need to base it on. So if you think you're going to use your cheat codes and get a 15.0, cool, bud. You're going to be playing some other players that are 15.0, and good for you. Good for you for sitting at a bar saying, "Man, you know what my COD score is,
But
girl?
I'm
You want to come
saying
back to my house and play some COD and see this cock?" Like,
I'm speaking of
ticks me off.
when we get on God and the first couple teams 6-2, 6-2,
Yeah,
6-4, still beat them,
yeah,
and
but
then we get 6
yeah,
to
slammed.
1,
So yeah,
and
but
you're like,
that's
what
what
did we
yeah,
run into?
yeah, but that's
That's
what I'm.
skill
This
based
is
matchmaking.
I I am I'm against that. They need to go KD a conform. If you're going to go skill based matchmaking, you need to go KD. All right, because some of them guys.
Would you rather go KD or win percentage? Because right now, dude, I'm at a 1-0 win percentage. That means I'm 50% going to win.
You
You
know,
know,
I kind of go.
well,
I kind of agree with the win percentage, but I do, dude. Some of these guys that were playing are just phenomenal at the game, or they're cheating.
I agree with that. Well, here's the deal. If you want to just see how like bad
That's your
cheating
comment.
is, well, no. If you want to see how bad cheating is on Call of Duty, I listened to a guy the other day, and he swore up and down more so in ranked Warzone. He was like, "There's absolutely no point to play this.
It's not
There's
fun.
no point to play this," because he said everybody's cheating. And here's the deal: he was breaking down the hack process. He said a person comes in, they have whatever server they're connected to, their IP or whatever, and then say a report comes in and it bans them. All they do is go scrub that and come right back in. In literally 5 minutes, they're back into the game. 5 minutes, like they don't care. That's crazy. So that's why I thought it was the biggest hoax. Ricochet was the biggest hoax of
Yeah,
2025. I think they just slapped that up there to make people. But COD could also be at that state where
yeah.
good press, bad press is still press, and a lot
Mhm.
of times bad press gets people talking. Good press is just keeps people smiling. Um, the same person also said that if he had a big red button on his desk and he could at that moment hit that red button to forever separate crossplay, put Xbox and PlayStation over here and keep PC. He said he would do it. He said it's not even
Pink Pony Club?
it's
Is that what we're talking about?
what?
That's what we're
No, I'm
talking
trying.
right? You said PC. Oh, you said okay.
Well, I'm saying like PC. You
No,
like
I got
with
it. Yeah, yeah.
PC
With
and
mouse.
Xbox playing together
Mouse.
because it's just so different. Like
Yeah.
on
No.
sticks, you're not keeping up with the mouse.
No,
But then
absolutely.
my
No, we're not.
last question to you is because you love the tacticalness of
I
Call
do.
of Duty and especially Search and Destroy and Warzone when people are not hacking. Um, Dylan asked a really good question the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, Jason would like this one." But shout out to King Wizard. Hopefully, see you later. But anyways, he said, "I wish there was a more strategic match, even more so than Search." Do you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
was like,
no. I
I wish
agree.
it was more strategic. And I'm like, I don't even know what that would look like. I mean,
Well,
search is pretty strategic, but you can sit back
yeah,
and
but
keep
there's
sniping.
look, every this is what I realized about some of the gameplays is some of the movement is just ridiculous. It's not real. I mean, if you're trying to go realization and real tactics and real movement, you're going to pie some of the corners, and a lot of these guys don't pie. You're going to set up a lot of mines on your right side. The ones that you're not really paying attention to. So when it does go off, then you know somebody's coming from that area. But here, my point to this is everybody has lanes, all right? And then they have different scales. It's like 3D. So they have underground and high ups, all right? Remember, you can go down multiple floors and stuff. So if you have a heartbeat, it's hard to follow. You gotta go run through every floor. So that it makes it more complex of a gameplay, but you're still conformed to a lane. That's what I like about Warzone. The problem is with the hacks. That's why I think if you're going to do a search and destroy, you got to have multiple lanes or like an open world concept.
You're talking about like a war map, a war
Yeah,
mode.
like a war map, but it's how like they have big team battles.
But I'm talking about no, I'm talking about just on the line, the precipice of like just a small, like medium to large size mosh pit, right? Or
Yeah,
mosh
yeah,
pits just everywhere. But
I
I'm
agree with
saying
that.
like these maps. So here's one that I thought of. I didn't think of it. So if you ever played Gunfight, I didn't
Yeah,
know this until a couple rounds, and then I found out. I'm like, bro, this dude is like his gun slaps. But we're going in there with both the same guns. Damage. What if they added that to a search like mode?
yeah.
Damage taken is damage stayed. So imagine if you did get busted on a blast trap but didn't die, but that little
Yeah, the
and red little
heartbeat.
that stayed.
Yeah.
Like you were literally still one shot away for the rest of the round from being dead.
Yeah,
Would
but
you
so
really want that?
well, no, yeah, yeah, but if you have a stem, I think that then that's the reason why you have the stem, all right?
Yeah, but then
Not
everybody's just
because
using stems.
yeah, but then that's what a stem is. It cauterizes the wound. It gives you a little bit more blood that's circulating in your system, so you don't
Or
lose the
maybe like a
vision.
medic
But
kit.
what I don't like about that is you just see blood and the heartbeat. They need to have like your vision goes lower, like the screen goes dimmer, because
Yeah.
then it's going to be very difficult to see the enemy. But all they do is throw some blood up there, so you can still see, but it's not really seen, and
I
then
mean,
all
it's
you hear
still
is heartbeat.
impaired. To
Yeah,
an
but
extent, it's still
to an
impaired.
extent, but I'm saying if that was reality, you're losing a lot of blood. You're going in and out of blacking out. I mean, that's for real.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even what about a med
Your
kit that
movement's a lot
partially
slower too. I
a
mean,
med
think
kit
about it,
that
you're
partially
wounded.
heals? Say
Yeah,
you can have a med kit on as a tactical or
I
whatever,
agree.
and it
Like a
partially heals. Like
yeah,
you had 15 health. Your
yeah.
med kit just gave you 75 health. You're still
And
25 health down.
hey, I also think the snipers are ridiculous. Like at close range, have you been shot by a sniper? That's unrealistic. That will never happen in close range. A sniper that
Well,
close.
I don't know if you paid
Whether they're
attention
using a shotgun
the other
mode.
night, and if you didn't know, to my Xbox brothers and sisters, you have Battle Pass now offers World War II. Call of Duty is one of my favorite games. It's not my favorite, but it's in the top five just because I like that time. I'm a big World War II guru. But when a sniper meets you in an alley on World War II, and I have an SMG, but there's no unless you're just a really good like shot. But a lot of times you're a sitting duck. It's like when you have the Olympia and you fire two shots already, you're
Yeah.
done. So like that's what I realized. What was crazy is when I was trying to sit back with snipers, I was getting got because the snipers, the visuals a little bit different, the movements a little bit different. But when I picked up an SMG, I started pushing these snipers, and I'm like, dude, I can get to these snipers in this game. Black Ops 6, I can't get to these snipers. And even if I get to them, they can pull faster than I can pull. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, it just shows you that's what scares me about the wall jump is Call of Duty's going in like a weird kind of movement way. And they did the same thing with this when Infinite Warfare came out and all that. They kind of went through the wall runs and the exosuits. So maybe they just need to have a bad game and let Battlefield have a really good game. And they're like, yeah, man, we actually got to fire some people. We're down so many sales.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fact. I don't know the specific number, but Black Ops 6 has lost a lot of players just because, and you can see it in the percentages. But with that being said, Black Ops 7 coming out, I believe, in October. I think, or is Black Ops? Anyway, they're all coming out at the same time. I'm going to buy Battlefield and I'm going to
6.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to enjoy that and then make my splash on Black Ops 7. But I'm about to potentially get on Black Ops 6. Got to go hug my wife, change some clothes, and do whatever the kids need me to do, because we've been in here. But other than that, Jason, anything else about Black Ops? Any complaints? Anything you got to say? Anything you got to praise? Who's been the player of the month for you? Hey, I seen De-Energized have a really nice
Yeah.
game
Oh,
today.
yeah.
So he's been
He was.
balling.
It was good to see him on there, and him and King were both on there, and they were pulling
Yeah,
in
man.
for us. I appreciate it.
King pulls up out of nowhere in the
Yeah.
the driveway after like 6 months and then he's still playing on hotel internet and still dropping 12 kills. Good for
Yeah.
you, King. Good
Then,
for you.
then you got McLovin. Oh God.
McLovin about to drop.
His is all glitchy, dude. We're gonna call him Glitch.
McLovin is
You need some spectrum. You'd put some aluminum foil around that thing.
Yeah, get some bunny ears going up in that hotel. Just ask a lot of people think I was lying, but dude, you got some of them Indian-owned hotels?
Good internet.
It's horrible, but they got good internet. I can't promise you what you're sleeping on, but you're close to 5G. I mean, you're getting probably right around 60 latency. So,
shoot.
That being said, but other than that, well, I'm going to go ahead and break us off right here and say we appreciate you watching the show, following the show, liking the show. Peach&Smee, we got Slappy O'Connor. We're just guys, dads, common sense. We talk what's good for our kids, what's not good for our kids, what's good for us, what's not good for us. Cares, worries, whatever, you name it. That's what we talk about here. And it's all because, we need answers and we see some feedback. We want to see some more feedback. So always feel free to join, comment. And even when we post reels, comment on those because we take this. We listen to you. We listen to you. But at the end of the day, Peach Panther, Slappy O'Connor, Slappy, give him one last word, and we'll cut out of here like we wasn't.
Hey, appreciate you guys for tuning in. We want to thank you for all the opportunities you give us for listening. Hopefully, we give you some thoughts on what are our opinions. Yeah, some smiles, some laughs. Remember, it's just opinion. Podcast, but I actually enjoy doing it with Derek and Smee. So have a good weekend. God bless, and see you soon.
Smee's fixing to be off maternity leave.
Yeah,
or he's getting his 90-day. He's getting on a 90-day probation. No, I'm joking. We love him, and we know he's a busy man. As are we all. I wish nothing but blessings to you for this week. And I guess that's all that's left to say. This is Peach&Smee Show, Slappy O'Connor. Thank you for joining me, and God bless you. Hopefully, I will see you in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Who knows?
I'll let you know.
Yeah, just text me. Shoot me a text, bud.
Absolutely.
Call of Duty T-Top on top always.